Welcome to the Sovereign Futures podcast. I am your host, Yvonne de la Flor. The Sovereign Futures podcast is a sharing space of transformational interviews, sacred teachings, power imagery processes, innovative futuring tools, and topics that can help you design and sculpt your desired futures into your now. Some of our podcasts will be translated into Spanish to bridge cultures where we share the journey of consciousness together. Welcome to the Sovereign Futures podcast, soon to be rebirthed, resurrected, and rebranded as the Spirituality Now podcast. I am your host, Yvonne de la Flor, and I'm so honored and so excited because I have today as a guest, a beloved friend, a meditation teacher, mentor, guide, raw vegan, exquisite chef, an incredible mother, partner, and she's just hot and gorgeous. And I love her because she brings to spirituality style, a lot of style. But before I introduce you to my beloved friend here, which I'm really excited, in these last episodes of the Sovereign Futures podcast, we will just continue with the number of episodes. We're gonna be reaching the number of episodes that we will transition into the Spirituality Now podcast, and we just will continue with the numbering. But before that, I'm excited. I'm teaching in August the Futuring certification trainings. Both the facilitators for you to understand how to use this tool called Futuring that a lot of people are like, but what is that? If you love the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, if you have ever do visualization, if you have ever heard the words of, if you imagine is because it exists, or focus on your goals, or visualization for manifestation, this is really the mastery of it. Futuring is a technique, a tool of mindset. Is really a mindset tool to be able for you to master the use of your subconscious mind, how you wire it, how you use the GPS of your mind, the GPS of your soul. What are the decisions, the feelings, the thoughts that you input in that GPS that you have in life to really be a creator of your reality. And we talk about different styles of future that we're all consistently creating and co-creating. Dark futures, bright futures, dim futures, and brilliant futures. And darkness is all about, fear, survival. Dimness is all about adequacy, excuses, complaints. Bright is the hustle, but sometimes with the cost and the risk of losing what truly matters in life, with the cost of fulfillment. And brilliant futures is the realm of fulfillment, and is the realm where we really serve our humanity, is where global initiatives start, is the realm of faith. So I'm super excited. Those trainings will be there. If you are interested, just send us an email to support at delaflorteachings.com. De La Flor Teachings is the sponsor of this podcast. I'm alongside Ascend Media, who is producing, editing all our podcasts and trying really, they do the job to make me look good, right? But it's not, without a villa, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So I'm just giving a shout out to my own company and the people that work there that help us with the production of the podcast. Again, this podcast, we don't receive advertisement from anyone. We are self-generated podcast. We don't ask for money from anyone either. So it's a philanthropic-based podcast sponsored by De La Flor Teachings. And De La Flor Teachings is the spiritual and systemic coaching, mentorship, and consulting company focused through mentorship, coaching, trainings, events, public speaking, to facilitate this systemic and spiritual integration into businesses, individuals, families, coupleship, and to bring the spirituality in a very practical way that serves everyone in any area of life to really manifest the most brilliant future now that they can experience. So with those personal commercials that I just did, because that's my duty, now I am going to introduce you to the beautiful. And I want to tell you beautiful. Just look at the picture of the podcast. She's really gorgeous. So her name is Yolanda Esposito. And her work and her page really, and her website and her media, everything she shares, everything she does is based and built on a foundation of love, a passion for what is possible. You see, that's futuring, and a commitment to be a force for good. She is here to serve, period. She always shares ideas to help people grow and become their best selves. She's here in life to make a difference and to support others make a difference in their lives, to help them build a life that they truly love. This is the realm of fulfillment. Whether people are just starting out or looking out to make a big change in their personal life, Yolanda is here to help anyone that desires that work to reach their highest level of their potential and to tap into the deepest wisdom within them. Her commitment is to give anyone the best of what she is living and learning. She's going to share ideas always with you to invite reflection, inner wisdom, and help you live the life of your dreams. She is really focused on healthy living, raw vegan, really high vibrational foods, meditation. She's an incredible meditation teacher, sound. I think she's a sound healer too. And she's a mother, a beloved, and such a stylish spiritual force for good. Welcome, Yolanda.
Hola, hi, Yvonne. How are you? What a lovely introduction. Thank you. I want to meet Yolanda.
See, isn't that true? I love that. I want to meet Yolanda, Isn't that's it? Yeah, we're already starting, each time someone introduced me, I'm like, wow, I got to meet her too. I love that. So you want to meet Yolanda. So I want you to meet Yolanda. I love that I got to meet Yolanda. We have such we have a backup story. We have, we met through really like spiritual and really interesting situations. And we are here now. And I'll introduce you to Yolanda by interviewing her, Yolanda. So please share a little bit about you with all of our public, all the people that follow us, that are a lot of younger people are beginning to get into sovereign futures. So let them know, who is Yolanda and how has Yolanda created herself to be how she is and what she does in this moment.
Oh, well, hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. I'm Yolanda, like Yvonne said. Well, I am passionate about helping people, like you mentioned. I see so much suffering in the world with such little things when I just want to teach people how to make a quick change and realize that their life can be so much more peaceful and relaxed and happy. That's what I've been passionate about. I used to have a completely different life. Like you said, when we met, I was more interested in the material and the superficial and the external life. And something called me and said, go in. So I went in and I started the work, and I started to transform and to have a more peaceful life. I still love the glamour, but I have a better understanding of the glamour. It's not everything now. It's part of.
I love what you're sharing, because the glamour, many years ago, a spiritual teacher of mine said, Yvonne, you have to let go of the glamour to really enter into the glamour that the work will give you. Look at
I love that.
And then number one and number two is like the ego begins to be so attached to things.
Yes.
And then to a spiritual glamour too, right? And then there's the breakthrough of letting that go and entering into this easeful, peaceful, just like, we're here just to be happy. So you already shared something. I'm writing notes, and you already shared 3 things that I want to ask you. So I love that you said, I am here to make a quick change. And I love that, because I'm a believer that people don't have to suffer unless they want to, and that the pain is unavoidable, but you can make a choice to be happy. And you are a consistent demonstration. I see your social media, I see your posts, I
Thank
see
you.
your consistent reminder of, hey, guys, be happy, like be
Right.
peaceful, like just
Right.
don't be angry. It is simple, but for the ego it's
Yes.
so complicated, right? And you said,
Exactly.
tell people, how did you move from, because both you and I love the good things in life. I always joke with people too, when they're like, oh my gosh, material stuff are wrong. I'm like, well, I meditate with Chanel. I always say that purposefully to break a pattern, because I'm not attached to things. I can
Right.
easily let go of stuff, but I'm also wary and aware that I don't want people to go into the extremes of feeling like the material stuff is evil. I love how you shared about it, that you still like it, but now you are not attached to it. How did that change happen? What was that voice, would you say, that called you in to make those changes happen for you in your life, love?
Well, I think that at the beginning, I struggled with it very much, and I would fight with wanting to have the material. And one day I was listening to Wayne Dyer, and he said, let go and let God. And the minute I said, okay, I'm going to let go and let God, everything just fell into place, Yvonne. It was just like I didn't have to struggle with wanting to get the things that I wanted. Things just flowed into my life. And I think that that's what actually helped me to let go of that suffering of wanting to have and being in that material world, and just flowing and watching the things just come to me. I was just going through my closet yesterday, and I was saying, Father, because I talked to God, and I referred to God as Father, and I said, Father, wow, you always give me everything I need. It's amazing. And without having to struggle. So I think
Yeah.
that, really listening to Wayne Dyer's words, let go and let God, was the biggest thing that helped me transform.
That's so beautiful, because you and I are very connected. The let go and let God. I have a coin that many years ago someone gifted me, and they gifted me a couple of ones that is just let go, let God. That's my most favorite, literally a coin, and I published it many years ago in my Facebook or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And that's when you and I like reconnected, and you
Yes.
put something, and that was like our sign, like, oh, let go, let God,
Yeah.
they're back,
Uh-huh.
and,
Yeah.
but I love, Yolanda, what you just said. I want everybody to make a note, or a mental heart note, and understand what she just said. The moment she heard the voice, and in many of my podcasts, a lot of my guests share about Wayne Dyer. Wayne Dyer,
Uh-huh.
I feel like he makes stellar appearances with my guests. Like you bring him like Yolanda Esposito and Wayne Dyer today in the Sovereign Futures podcast, because what an incredible soul. And I was about to,
Yeah.
many years ago before he passed, we were going to interview him for a documentary film, The United State of Mind, that is a free documentary that I got the privilege to produce. And we were
Hmm.
going to interview him. And the day before that, the day before we were going to interview him, that's when he transcended his body. So I want to just take a moment to honor him. But I love what you said, that you heard, Heavenly Father, you ask. Everybody pay attention. She has like a Yolanda Esposito system, right? For how to let
Hmm.
go and let God with Yolanda Esposito. Maybe she one day will do a retreat. I'll be there with her.
Yes.
And the first thing she did was ask, Father, you know, Father, whatever she was in her prayers, and the Father answered her, let go and let
Hmm.
God. And in
Yes.
that moment, she made a decision to go all in. Pay
Exactly.
attention, because she did took an action. It sounds very subtle. She made a decision, and the struggle ended. Yeah.
And I want to mention one more thing
Yes.
that you many, many, many years ago said to me, divine right time. And I have that, Mark and I, my husband Mark, and I always quote you. When something happens, we say, Mama G, because for your viewers, for your
Aw.
listeners, we call you Mama G. And we said, Mama G, divine right time. Seriously, divine right time is amazing. And we got that from you, my friend.